Sup boys? What is the best turbo setup for a second gen Cummins? Well, we're gonna find that out today. I'm Aiden, this is my 1999 24 valve Cummins. I've gone through 4 different turbo setups on this truck and all of them have pros and cons, and today I'm gonna sit down, show you what each of the turbo setups sounded like, drove like, tell you a little bit about them, what I liked and what I didn't, and let you guys decide which one is the best for your setup. So when I got this truck, it was bone stock. The first thing I did to it was straight pipe it, so it had a stock turbo, stock manifold on a 4-inch straight pipe. So at first I ran that completely stock, no injectors, no other real engine modifications, not even a tuner, and I actually really liked it. I thought it sounded good. Now I did technically modify that turbo before I ever changed it to a different turbo, and I took out the silencer ring. To be honest, to me, I didn't see a huge difference in sound quality or any difference in performance. Now I do have a couple of videos of how the stock turbo sounds on a 4-inch straight pipe, so I'll go ahead and insert those now. On the stock turbo, I did install a Quadzilla Adrenaline tuner. I thought it was awesome, but I wanted a little bit more power, so I went with a Diesel Auto Power Screaming Eagle 63mm turbo. It's basically the equivalent of a drop-in S363. Now when I did that 63mm turbo, I also upgraded my injectors to 150 horse injectors. So I ran that turbo for a while and I actually really liked it, but I wanted a little bit more whistle out of it, so I upgraded to a Fleece Cheetah, which is also a drop-in 63mm turbo. So because that 63mm turbo was so throaty and didn't have any whistle at all, I was chasing a little bit more whistle. So I did exactly what you guys are probably doing right now, and I went on YouTube to try and find the turbo that whistled the loudest for the second gen. And what I found was the Fleece Cheetah 63mm drop-in. So that was the next turbo I put in. I put in the 63mm Fleece and it sounded insane. I'll go ahead and drop some clips right now. So as you guys just heard, that Fleece is a super loud turbo. It whistles like crazy, sounds really, really good in my opinion. My only problem with it was that I felt like it sounded better than it performed. And what I mean by that is I felt like It sounded really good, but I got more performance out of the previous 63mm I was on. And it still drove okay, I just felt like I got better performance out of the 63mm from DAP. And because it still drove okay and it sounded so good, I stuck with that turbo for a little over a year. But I wanted a little bit more power out of my truck, so after talking to a bunch of different people, I chose to go with compounds. Now, compound turbos are extremely drivable for the manuals because you get the small charger that allows you to spool quickly, but you also get the big charger that allows you to have that top end boost, giving you more horsepower. So the drivability aspect is actually why I went with the compounds, and the sound of them was just a pleasant surprise. On top, I have a 60mm from Diesel Auto Power, and then on the bottom I have an S475. That 60mm turbo is small enough where it spools almost instantly, and the 75 on the bottom gives me a ton of top end power and honestly sings as soon as it starts spooling. So I have been super happy with the way the compounds sound in my truck, but also the drivability of them. Before I put this big air ride kit on it, I towed with this truck all the time. They towed absolutely immaculate. They sound great. The drivability is good. I honestly have no complaints from the compound setup. I have a ton of different sound clips from this compound setup, so I'll go ahead and insert those now so you guys can hear it. So now, just so you can hear them side by side, I'll give you a startup and a roller from each of the turbos in sequence. For me, compounds in the second gen Cummins have been by far my favorite turbo setup and have been definitely the most fun to drive. But as for which one sounds the best, well, that's for you guys to decide. Let me know in the comments which turbo setup you guys like the best on this truck. If you guys like this content, make sure you subscribe to get updates on what we're doing around the shop. Next week, we're going to be going around the truck and kind of telling you guys everything we've done to it and doing a full cost breakdown, adding up every single penny I've put into the truck so that you guys can see exactly how many dollars it took me to make my second gen Cummins into a SEMA rig. If there are other videos that you guys want to see or things that you're interested in, drop them in the comments so that I can have an idea of what you guys want to see. See you boys next week.